guys, welcome back to my channel. It's story time. So the other day I was reading through some of my old blog posts because that's something I used to do. I used to blog in the days before YouTube and then I kind of fell out of it, which is a shame because reading the old ones really makes me want to get back into it, but I doubt I could keep it and YouTube up. But yeah, so I was reading through these old blog posts just for fun and looking through the old pictures, and I was reading the post about the time that Jake and I went to go see Lordi, which was a wonderful night. We met the whole band plus the support band who were awesome, and it was just great, and there was lots of pictures on that blog post and that was all nice. But then I came across a part of the story that it just left my mind. I completely forgot about this interaction. And like whenever I was reading it, I was like, oh my god, I forgot about that! So with us looking a bit weird, and I especially looked weird that night, I had my Slayer lenses in and I was like about 8 foot tall on my platforms. I was looking odd as I usually do. And that tends to grab the attention of some strange types. Not strange like me, because that would be fine, but like strange, not in looks, but in mind. And we were sitting waiting for a taxi after all this, because we'd stayed quite late meeting the band after the show and everything. And we're waiting around for a taxi and it just wasn't showing up. And then this guy comes along who, like in the UK, he was what you'd call a chav. And this guy was off his face, like completely. That was clear immediately. He spotted me looking all weird and immediately was like, whoa, and came over and started talking to us and asking questions about our look and stuff, which is fine, that tends to happen, that's not a problem. He started telling us about how he'd been trying to buy some drugs off of some guy at City Hall, but the guy thought he was like an undercover cop essentially and wouldn't like cooperate with him, which I don't know how, because this guy's eyes were basically all pupil. Apparently some guy thought he was a cop and wouldn't let him buy drugs, which is probably a good thing. He didn't need more drugs, I can tell you that, and you'll know that through the rest of this story. And then, like, after a few minutes of talking, he starts waving his hand like this, and he's like, can you see it? Can you see the energy? And we're there like, nah man, that's just you. So he was doing that for a minute, and then he asked us, he was like, do you know what it's for? The energy. And like, you know, we were expecting something like, you know, sort of like hippie, spiritual, healing, something like that. You know, whenever people are talking about like energy, it's usually something down that path. Not this guy, no. So yeah, he's like, do you know what the energy's for? And we're like, no. And he goes, you know, Satan? Like the devil? And we're there like, yeah? Like, oh holy shit, where is this going? And then that is where it all began. So he suddenly starts going on, he kept, like, not much of what he was saying was making a huge amount of sense, and he started going on, he kept saying something or other about Satan being the father. He kept referring to Satan as the father, Satan is the father, and all the rest, and we're like... He also says that everyone, like all people, are born with like some sort of like devil, Satan energy power or something or other. And like we can use this Satan energy to like do things, apparently. He was asking us if, you know, if we had learned to use our Satan power yet, and we're like, no. And he found that very strange. He found it very weird that we didn't know how to use our Satan power. So then after that he started going on some babble, like he kept repeating, only the son shall see the father, only the son shall see the father, and like we're just sitting there looking at this guy like, what the fuck? And then he asked us if we wanted to know who the son was, and we're like, oh yeah, we want, like, go on, tell us who the son of Satan is. And wouldn't you just know it, he is the son of Satan, and he knows this because only the son shall see the father. And he saw Satan apparently, and Satan presented himself to him as a tiny dragon with big pointy teeth. Tiny little dragon, big pointy teeth. Couldn't have been the drugs, no, wouldn't have been the drugs. This guy was the son of Satan. So yeah, Satan can take many forms, and apparently this time that form he decided would be fun for that day was a tiny dragon. And then after that, he just started babbling on about something along the lines of, soon the seven will give me the power and we will rise against the Lamb. And he said that multiple times, and I'm sitting there like, oh my god, where's the taxi? So, you know, I'm there trying to keep a straight face through all of this. I didn't know whether to laugh or run away screaming in case I was sacrificed, but, you know, I'm sitting there like, you know, nodding along, and like anytime that I like, you know, smirked too much, he'd get really like twitchy and angry and mad and be like, what, do you not believe me? Do you think I'm crazy? And I'm like, no, you know what you're talking about. And they started getting like really pissed off that we didn't know how to use our Satan power, like that was offensive to me. I was getting really annoyed that we hadn't like unlocked our Satan power. So the next thing you know, in the midst of all this Satan drama, two men walk up, and these poor bastards, I don't know if it was the first night on the job or what, but they were such obvious undercover police that I was nearly crying laughing by the end of this interaction. So they'd obviously probably seen him around City Hall and like knew something was going on with drugs and they were trying to catch people out on it, and like this guy obviously was very much on drugs. I was only annoyed that they probably thought that we were with him, and I was like, no. But these guys come over and start asking if, like, you know, if we know where they can get any, whatever the drug was. I don't even know if they asked for a specific one or just stuff or what. Bear in mind this was 3 or 4 years ago. So yeah, they start asking, you know, if we know where we can get anything, and the son of Satan starts freaking the fuck out and getting all twitchy and going, no man, you're a cop, man, no, like, you know, just being all crazy, and we're just sitting there like, and like these poor bastards who really want to be taken seriously. Like, one of them even had like a stereotypical like policeman mustache, you know, the mustache, and me and Jake are just looking at him like, dude, no. And like they're dressed all swanky and everything, you know, lads out on the town, and like whenever this guy starts going nuts and saying that they're cops, like one of them's like, huh, no man, no, we're not. Do you know, like, I shouldn't even be telling you this, it's so funny, I shouldn't even be telling you this, but he actually used to be a cop and he's not now, and he's like the biggest druggie I know, and we're just there like, it was painful to watch. I just couldn't cope. But yeah, he just kept being all twitchy and refused to talk to them, so eventually they left because, you know, they couldn't get anything out of him anyway. And like, he started going on to us about how it was like good we didn't get caught or something, and I was like, okay, yeah, but you know, we actually don't take drugs, we're not on anything. And then he got all angry at us, was like, oh, why don't you take anything? Why don't you take anything? That's ridiculous. Why don't you take any drugs? And I'm looking at him like, gee, let me think. Some more babble about the Seven and rising against the Lamb. And then he started, like, the taxi still hadn't come. By this point we'd realised it just wasn't coming, so we phoned for another one. And he started asking, like, where we live and stuff. Jake kind of, like, walked a wee bit away to order the taxi so that he wouldn't hear anything. But he started asking, like, where we live and stuff, and, like, basically started hinting that he wanted to come back with us. I was like, fuck no. So we were just having to make all these excuses and stuff, and I think we ended up like going around the corner to get the taxi because I was like, no, he cannot try to come home with us. He will sacrifice us to his father. Yeah, we just had to kind of like make a run for it. But that guy, like, see, this is it. People like to be like, oh, you know, goths, they worship Satan, goths are Satan worshippers. No, it's guys like this. It's never goths. Not ever will you have a goth come up to you and say shit like this. It's the weird, druggy chavs that go on about this. Every time. Not once have I met a goth person who's done this. I've met quite a lot of normal people who do this, or get all creepy and ask me about cults, and they're always the most normal looking person. It's mental. It's mental. People are always going on about goths being into Satan. No. It's the normal looking people. It always is. So yeah, that was my interesting experience with the son of Satan. Have any of you spoken to the son of Satan? Was Satan a tiny dragon with big pointy teeth? Who knows? Basically, the moral of the story is drugs are bad, okay? That's an old reference. But yeah, I thought you guys might enjoy that. I like doing storytime videos, and whenever I remembered this story, I was like, I need to tell that to all the people who have not witnessed this yet, because it was wonderful. Terrifying, but hilarious and wonderful. So if you haven't already, remember to subscribe to my channel and maybe give this video a thumbs up and a little comment if you don't mind. You can also check out my gaming channel if you want. We post there very often. It's me and my boyfriend, and we play lots of different games and it's super fun. And also check me out on Patreon if you want to help support my channel, because that would be awesome. And I'll see you in my next video. Thanks guys, bye!